Subway order is sweet onion chicken teriyaki with a bunch of fucking veggies. We're talking spinach, black olives, green peppers, pickles, and then we get some sweet onion and honey mustard on that bad boy.
See, that sounds like a lot of flavor. It does. Here's the problem. It also sounds like there's a lot of green. There seems to be a lot of veggies, which I'm not technically against, I guess, in principle. My go-to Subway order, all right, and you can give me the award for best Subway order anytime after this. I'll accept I'll accept it in cash. I'll accept a trophy. It's the Subway Club, right? Classic. So I believe it's roast beef, ham, and turkey. It's quite delicious.
That is not a club at all.
Am I wrong about what goes on this sandwich? Hold on.
I don't know about the sandwich, but
the Subway Club is turkey breast, roast beef, and succulent ham. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Not a club at all.
Maybe that's why it's the Subway Club. It's its own version.
I guess, because a club is usually some kind of poultry. Oh, ham or fried bacon. Okay, my bad. I've only ever seen a club with bacon.
Maybe that's why, like, I went to Subway a couple weeks ago, and this is what kind of spawned this, other than the Twitter post that Northern Lion posted from the Subway subreddit, where the dude basically got double every single veggie and then said he would go home and add even more veggies. It's like, that's wild. I went there. I had a Subway Club. That is a lot of green. I got the Subway Club. I usually get it on flat. Oh, you didn't even say, what's your bread of choice?
The only bread that you can fucking choose that's worth anything, the Italian herbs and cheese.
I disagree.
With toasted. Gotta get toasted.
I've never
Pepper Jack.
I've never not gotten a sub at Subway toasted ever. But here's the thing. Prior to my Subway Club that I get usually now, I used to get the meatball sub. So you can't have a cold meatball sub.
You can, but what the hell?
But you literally can, but you should be executed. And what I usually get now is I get the Subway Club. I love the flatbread there ever since they introduced it.
I've actually never had it in my life.
It's pretty decent. I enjoy it. Now, the problem is at Subway, pretty much everything is exactly the same, no matter what, because it's not a good sandwich place. I just sometimes get a craving for it, and then I'm disappointed regularly every time I try it. I get it on, Subway Club on flatbread. I get double provolone. Get that bad boy toasted, right?
Right.
It's delicious. It's great. Salt and pepper, Chipotle Southwest, and that's it.
No veggies.
No veggie.
Nah.
Don't need it.
Right. Of course.
I just don't like... what veg... Like, they have lettuce. I'm not big on lettuce. I know it's just crunch, but it's never been my shtick. I don't like tomato. Onions, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of peppers.
I also put onions on mine. Totally forgot about the onion. And black olives.
You like olives?
I fucking love olives, man.
Olives are disgusting. Ugh. The problem is they don't have any of the veggies that I like at Subway. I can't roll up and be like, "Yo, can you put any broccoli on my sub?" Could you put any cauliflower on my sub?
Okay, you're just you like the weirdest veggies. Like, don't get me wrong, broccoli and cauliflower is good. It's just usually if people are like, I don't really like veggies, except they don't usually say broccoli and cauliflower.
I've always liked broccoli and cauliflower. I don't know why. I never had an issue with them when I was a kid. Like, I was never big a fan of carrots. I was never a huge fan of, I can't even think of any more vegetables. And
wow.
I was always like a green bean, a broccoli, or a cauliflower guy, you know?
Hey, Subway, can you add green beans and broccoli to my sandwich?
I'm gonna go into a Subway with like pre-cooked broccoli. It's like, yo, can you put this on my sub? I would appreciate it.
They're going to say, no, you can do it yourself.
Sir, please leave. We told you this last week.
I mean, spinach is delicious. Onions are delicious.
Like, you know what? I like baby spinach.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed
and they have
spinach.
that at Subway.
They do? Maybe I'll have to actually have that on there.
Yeah,
Here's the, I hate it from a can.
Lettuce.
Spinach from a can is disgusting.
You got to get the raw spinach because it's crisp. If you cook it, you have control over that, and then you just saute it for like a fucking minute, and you put it in a nice pasta. Or, some other like stir-fried dish, and like it adds a little bit of flavor, but it's not really there, but you're still getting all that delicious vitamins and iron.
Gotcha. What's your opinion on Brussels sprouts?
I used to hate Brussels sprouts. And then, because I love my mom to death, I really do. She's an amazing cook. She's the reason I got into cooking. But for the longest time, the way we grew up with vegetables was out of the can, boiled. You eat it like that with, some toppings like salt and lemon pepper and butter, which is fine. But then she moved over to frozen stuff. She still boiled it, but then she also got into like sauteing it. So we would have like sauteed green beans with balsamic vinegar and butter, and then salt and black pepper, and that's fantastic. And you get the crunch and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But how she does like asparagus and Brussels sprouts is she just does it in the pan and calls it a day, and that was gross to me. But then I roasted Brussels sprouts in a sriracha honey vinaigrette like glaze, covered all of them, roasted them in there. Fantastic. Great. Nice and crispy, really good flavor.
Interesting.
Just perfect.
I've never been a Brussels sprouts guy. I would be interested. Like, I've been trying a lot of new things recently. I tried scallops for the first time like last month. Wasn't a huge fan, but our boss said when I described them to her, she said it sounded like they were overcooked. We went to a hibachi, and
were they rubbery?
They were a bit rubbery. Yeah,
overcooked.
They were better when I had them with something, but by themselves, they're like,
Yeah, they're kind of supposed to be like somewhat sweet, like crab meat.
Oh, yes.
And like crab meat texture.
I haven't had crab in a long time. Well, I guess I had I went to a place called Drake's, I think, and I had a spider roll. It was the first time I ever had sushi. It was interesting. I don't know if I would get it all the time, but it was certainly interesting.
Yeah, I mean, vegetables, best way to do vegetables, my opinion. Roasting is like number one top.
Microwave.
Second, microwave's fine. Typically when you microwave them, you're steaming them, and that's my third option.
Okay, fair enough.
But the second way to do it is like saute, pan fry. And I'm not like, just drench the pan in oil. I'm just put a little bit of oil, heat it up, throw your veggies in, and then steaming. The thing that like makes vegetables good is what you put on them.
Yeah.
But for instance, like you might not like carrots, but you probably would really like roasted carrots because it caramelizes all the sugars that are in the carrot. It makes it like really sweet with like kind of like crunchy exterior, but like more malleable on the inside, and it's great as like a little side dish.
I guess I should update by saying I didn't like carrots when I was younger. I can tolerate carrots now.
Right, but I mean, how are you having your carrots? Are you just having them, ranch on the side, dip and go?
No, there are very few vegetables I will eat raw. Even though I like broccoli and cauliflower, I'm not going to eat them raw.
I love broccoli raw. Cauliflower is there.
I know
I'm not
that
big on cauliflower.
I know that when you cook them, apparently it loses some of its nutrition. Apparently, I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it is, and that's just because like vitamins and the chemicals are breaking down due to the heat, so they don't maintain their like same chemical. It's not like bad for you. It's just you lose some of that nutrition that you were getting, but it's not like, oh man, all of a sudden this is basically the equivalent of eating a bowl of ice cream.
Gotcha.
You're just not getting as much iron or keratin or whatever vegetable you're eating that has fuck tons of vitamins.
Going back to Subway, though, Subway sucks. My favorite sandwich place is either, I really like Firehouse Subs, and then I also tried Jersey Mike's for the first time a while back. It was
Jersey
quite delicious.
Mike's is fantastic.
It's very good. You know what else is fantastic, Mitchell?
The
Distorted Entertainment Podcast.
Yeah,
How's it going, everybody? My name is Eden Carpenter. Welcome to the Distorted Entertainment Podcast. I am also joined, of course, by Mitchell Wade.
By the way, everybody, my favorite sandwich places, because apparently I don't fucking matter.
I never said that.
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
Capriotti's.
I've never heard of that one.
It's similar to Jersey Mike's, but they do like more East Coast Italian. Well, I guess Jersey Mike's is also East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit different, but they have like Wagyu fucking sandwiches, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Japanese Wagyu. Yeah.
And like their Philly cheesesteak is fantastic, which is saying something because Jersey Mike's fantastic Philly. I like Penn Station pretty well, and Which has always had my back.
Never had Which.
Oh man, it's an experience because you like go in, you don't talk to the cashier at all. You go over to the side, and they have a bunch of little cup holders with different bags in them, and you pick, like, the bags are numbered, and you look up and it tells you what each number means, and each number is a type of sandwich. So it's like number 1 is, I'm just going to make it up, I don't know, it's like chicken, and you're like, cool, and you grab that bag if you want chicken, and then it's got all the different types of chicken sandwiches you can get. Chicken salad, chicken cordon bleu, whatever. You check that. You check if you want it hot or cold. You check everything you want on it, on the bag. So it's like Subway, but you just get to check off what you want and everything. You can add extra, etc. And then they have like cards for like cookies, chips, and drink. They do milkshakes there, and their cookies and cream milkshake is to fucking die for. One of the best ones I've had.
A sandwich place that does shakes?
Yeah. There's a local place near where I live called Potbelly's that also does it. But they're kind of like
there's a Potbelly's on the Circle.
Potbelly's is totally worth it. Their sandwiches are pretty good. Their soups are really good. Shakes, fantastic. Salads are pretty decent, which I like a good salad myself. But so you just hand them all the bags and everything. You pick out your chips. If you got a fountain drink, you grab your drink cup. Otherwise, they're going to make the shake there for you. And they make the sandwich and they put it in the bag, and there you go. And it's a really nice system. Back at IUPUI, there was one on that strip, where like Stack Pickle and everything was. I don't think
it's there anymore, though.
No, it's not. I'm really upset because I supported that business. Damn it, I was the only thing keeping them up. Went there all the time. Fucking love that place. There was also a really interesting Japanese dessert place there that's no longer there.
I don't remember that one. I've gone to the burger place that's down there now.
That replaced Stack Pickle?
Yeah, it's good. It's very overpriced, but it's pretty good.
Right.
And then I was thinking about going to that I Love Mac and Cheese place. But
I have ordered from there. It is stupid expensive and not worth it.
Yeah, I heard it was basically just Noodles and Co., but more.
Which,
like, more expensive.
Okay, but it's like higher quality Noodles and Co., but it's also pricier.
Okay.
But I really do recommend Which.
I might have to check it out. Have you ever been to the Yats?
Yeah, I've been to Yats once. I had the jerk chicken. It's good if you like not Jamaican, Creole kind of food.
I think I had like the red bean and sausage, and I thought that was pretty good. I saw that right before seeing the movie Hereditary, and the best part of that night was eating Yats.
Yeah. God, what is another name for Creole? It's
Southern.
No, it's a very specific because it's New Orleans.
Nolans.
And I could be wrong in saying Creole. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Well, there's first.
Welcome to the podcast. We like talking food. Cajun. Yeah, there you go. Forgot all about that. It's good. I like Yats.
Yeah. the difference between Cajun and Creole. I'm just going to read the Google blurb. Oh, today common understanding holds that Cajuns are white and Creoles are black or mixed race.
God dang
it. Creoles are from New Orleans while Cajuns populate. And then it differs from there. But food is, they're both from Louisiana. That's why they get confused.
I'm more of a fan of Popeyes. Louisiana fast, brother.
I've still never had Popeyes.
It's really good. I like it. Anyway, we spent like the last 15 minutes talking about food.
It's almost like we're healthy and skinny and don't have heart conditions.
Oh yeah, definitely. My chest never hurts at all. I never have to like hit my own chest to get the heart back into place.
And you know, I never just like all of a sudden feel like I'm dying just because I moved 15 feet and was told by several doctors that my heart's in failure.
I told him not to I told him to not staple those 3 pieces of paper. I could have just done 2.
I could have just done 2.
But yeah, welcome to the Distorted Entertainment Podcast. It's been forever since we've recorded. It's been like a month. It's been like a month.
Nonsense.
Sorry about that, guys. No. We just had some scheduling issues and life problems, and eventually we won't have those anymore, so I don't have to start using it as an excuse, much like Mitchell does with his heart condition. And
I take offense to that, and you know what? I do have a heart condition. I also have severe sleep apnea. Woo! I should major depressive disorder.
Same. I should probably get a sleep study at some point, but then again, I probably won't. I got a new cat.
Oh, a new cat.
Well, it's not a new cat for me. So a while back, I think it was still in my first apartment. My mom found a cat that was pregnant, or she found kittens, one or the other, and she was hand feeding them, and one of them nearly died. And I think she actually did, but mom got her to come back, and so thus we named her Zombie. And when she was a bit bigger, I decided to take her into my first apartment, and she got along with Woody after a few days, and we were very fine. And then I moved into my next apartment, and I just couldn't afford having 2 cats. It also didn't help
that
you lie
about them.
Well, it was also like food and stuff like that. I was very broke. Oh. Also, there was something evil in her bowels. It was just horrible, and neither of them would ever cover up their crap in the litter boxes. Now, luckily, Woody does. But I took her back to mom's, where she had to stay in one room with all the other cats because my stepdad doesn't like cats, and she's basically just been bullied by the other cats for years at this point. And
nice.
Luckily they didn't really hurt each other. They just didn't like each other that much. So at my new place, I decided, you know what, I'm going to ask my landlords if they mind if I take a second cat. So that way, like, I can kind of lessen the burden on my mom a little bit. And, I'll take Zombie. And I took her here, and she has been under the couch for 2 days. And I feel bad for her. I looked under there today, and she meowed at me. I'm hoping that she comes out soon, hopefully before the weekend is up, just because I don't want to risk being gone for 9 hours or so. I don't think Woody would hurt her or anything, but I don't know about her because she's a bit more feisty than she was when she was a kitten.
Right.
And it's the first time I've heard Woody hiss in a long time. So
right, yeah. I mean, Sabbath was that way with Succotash. Now they get along, aside from the fact that Succotash is a kitten and Sabbath is a 5-year-old. And so Succotash was like, oh, you're asleep, we should play. And Sabbath is not happy to have a kitten on top of him all of a sudden.
The punk keeps face. Bullying his father.
Yeah, pretty much. But they get along, they cuddle, they play together.
Oh, I'm sure it'll work out after a while, but I found out since she's been younger, she does not like being held, so trying to get her into the cat carrier was a pain. And then, she was hissing up a storm at me. She wasn't biting me or anything, but it's other than that, she's very lovable. Anytime I came over to the house, she liked being pet and she wouldn't leave me alone. But I hope she calms down after a bit. But that's kind of what I've been up to recently. But besides like going into full stuff like we do at the end of the episodes,
I actually, right before you started, setting up and everything. I was downstairs. I'm making my way through another Metroid 2 remake. I'm actually at the very end. And I had paused to just kind of like chill for a second because I realized I'm at the final boss. 100% of the game, by the way, with very little help from like online, maps and everything. I'm usually not good at the whole full exploration Metroidvania kind of style, which is sad since Metroid is my favorite.
Right.
But this time I really looked at it, and I think there was only like 3 or 4 places that I just you would have never have seen it unless you had just laid down a power bomb in the room because you like were sus about something, but there was nothing indicating that there was an item near you or anything like that. Anyways, not the point. I think Succotash was having some nightmares because while he was sleeping, he started crying.
Aw, poor boy.
I like went over and picked him up, and he curled up in a ball in my arms, and his tail is too long, so he like almost can wrap it around his entire face while he's balled up. It's the cutest fucking thing ever. What else going on in my life since Ethan's life is not as important as mine? I actually practiced my mandolin doing some Gojira covers.
Nice.
And I also looked up on YouTube somebody that actually did Silvera cover, and they did a bias FX. This is how you can make it. And so I got really close to that. And then I realized it sounded like crap because I didn't double the mandolin. And as soon as I doubled it, fantastic sounding.
Did you double track or did you just copy it?
I just copied. I was recording them simultaneously.
That does nothing.
No, it doesn't. But it sounded nice while I was just playing. I wasn't actually recording.
Yeah, I stopped. I haven't used bias effects much recently. I kind of moved on to the neural side of things. I still really want to get the Gojira archetype plugin. That'd be really cool.
I'm really interested to see how the pitch pedal works digitally in terms of like, obviously you can get a MIDI pedal for it.
Yeah. I mean, I was, a buddy of mine was trying to figure out how to, I guess we're going to do a cover of, Welcome Home Sanitarium, and he was trying to automate the bias effects wah pedal, and we just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that shit and everything because it's like built into the software itself.
Yeah, it's very obtuse and can't figure it out.
The only thing I can think of is you would have to get a MIDI pedal.
Yeah, like an expression pedal.
Yeah, and just do it that way.
But at that point, you could also just get a wah pedal and DI it.
Yeah, that probably would be the next best thing.
Yeah. So, but I don't know how that's going otherwise. But Mitchell, we have a lot of things to discuss today because it has been. Actually, we don't have a lot. News has been kind of dead since it's been so long since we recorded. Albums of the day are obviously Devin Townsend Project, Deconstruction, and Mr. Bungle's Disco Volante. And
also with bonus, Mitch doing the Right Strapping Young Lad album.
Did you actually listen? Did you get around to listening to City?
I did, and I don't have a lot to say, but I can say some things.
Okay, fair enough. But first of all, we're going to go into news. I'm actually going to start with gaming news today because there's not that much. Just by chance, while Mitchell and I were setting up, I found an article about something that Intel is doing. It's if you know what NVIDIA's DLSS is, Intel is doing their own version of it. But that's not really what I want to focus on because it's pretty deep into gaming, and some people may know what it is, some people don't. However, and in the same article, I just noticed that apparently Intel is entering the GPU game, graphics cards, if people aren't nerds, early 2022 apparently. It doesn't seem like the best time to enter the graphics card game at the moment because the market is dying.
Not really dying, is just hard to get stuff. It's not like graphics cards, you'll never, people will just stop dying graphics cards. Yeah. But also, aside from that, this is like Epic Games entering PC gaming in terms of like trying to outdo Steam.
Mm-hmm.
The market has pretty much been set at this point that there are two large competing companies, my bad, and trying to compete further with those. I don't know. You do got the Intel fanboys,
mm-hmm.
so maybe they'll do fine.
It's kind of like Valve releasing the Steam Deck. I think it has enough name power that it might work. Obviously, it's two different markets, a graphics card versus a gaming system. But yeah, it's just interesting. Apparently, they are called... I closed out of the tab. Hold on. They are called the Alchemist graphics cards.
I do like the name.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, especially when it comes to how it competes with AMD and NVIDIA. Obviously, NVIDIA has been the leader of graphics cards for years. I know at one point AMD surpassed them for a generation, but then it solidly went back. I've heard the new AMD cards are great, but not at all compared to just the 30 series was a monster of a release for NVIDIA. And I'm interested to see how Intel tries to combat that. So yeah, that's what I got on there. And then Saints Row is apparently being rebooted. Deep Silver are teasing it. It's apparently not a remake. It is not a remaster. It is just a brand new game reboot. I really hope that it might be controversial to say, I kind of prefer the more grounded Saints Row versus the Saints Row 2 versus Saints Row 4, where it's just insanity incarnate. Saints Row 3 was a nice medium, but I'm a Saints Row 2 boy.
I just feel like people preferred the more off the top because if they wanted more grounded, then they would just do GTA.
Kind of, but Saints Row 2... So let's even go back further. Saints Row 1 was just a GTA clone. Saints Row 2 added more to it so that it felt unique. It was still had a little bit of craziness to it, and then it just amped up more and more. People really do like Saints Row 3. That's why they re-released or they remastered Saints Row the 3rd. But then it went too far with Saints Row 4, if I'm remembering correctly, and then nobody liked Gat Out of Hell. It's just a common complaint of Saints Row 4 was they just copied the map from Saints Row 3. It was the exact same, just with alien architecture sprinkled about it. The driving was basically obsolete. You didn't need to once you unlocked the sprint and fly abilities. I would prefer it to be a bit more like Saints Row 2 or Saints Row 3 than continuing to push it. And I think the reason they're going for a reboot is because they went too crazy with it. So I'm looking forward to see what they say. It's going to be announced, or I guess they're going to talk about it at Gamescom, which there's a couple other things that I believe were headlines. You said there was something about Halo too, wasn't there?
Yeah, I got a couple of things to add if we want to talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you know, but 2 id Software games stealthily got released, I think yesterday. For people that don't know, for some reason, id is the gods of FPS games. Wolfenstein, Quake, Doom. And they released the Doomslayer collection, which basically gives you all the Doom games besides Eternal.
Oh.
Literally all of them. I don't know about DLCs or expansions, but it gives you even Doom 2016.
Dang.
Also, without telling anybody, they released the original Quake remastered 4K. And that comes with all the expansions. All of them.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I was surfing through the PlayStation store today, and I think I saw something about Quake on there.
Yep, not too long ago, because ray tracing was just getting out of hand. They also released Quake RTX.
I remember seeing that.
Or Quake 2. Quake 2 RTX. I actually played the demo, and it somehow looks both
God rays.
super old, just like super old, but also amazing. Because it's not like they did a full graphic overhaul. They were just like,
it's just the lighting.
Let's just update the graphics a little bit, 4K, and then lights everywhere. Just all of the lights.
God
and it looked really
rays.
good. And I don't think it's that much on Steam if you wanted to play it. I want to, just because Quake is a childhood game of mine.
I don't think I've ever had an experience with Quake. If I did, maybe it was Quake 4, but I don't remember.
Could be. The thing is about Quake 1 is completely separate from Quake 2 and Quake 4, and the not well-known game Enemy Territory Quake Wars, which I love that game. There was also Enemy Territory Wolfenstein, but I think that was less popular, and those were like Battlefield-esque almost. Enemy Territory Quake Wars had you playing as either the humans or the aliens, and then you could like bring in vehicles, and it was like capture these objectives or do these special things, and there were 5 classes per each. Anyways, so Quake 2, Quake 4, and Enemy Territory Quake Wars deals with the Strogg, which are like the Borg from Star Trek, but in my opinion more scary and way more gross. Quake 3 is the like battle arena that was similar to Unreal Tournament, and then there was Quake Live, which was a reboot, and then Quake Champions, which was another reboot of Quake 3, but trying to make it a hero game. That one died.
But
Quake, original Quake was somewhat gothic horror, a little bit of who made Cthulhu? What is that horror called?
Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraftian horror, because one of Lovecraft's monsters is the boss in that game.
Interesting.
And it was just completely different, and people loved it. But what were you going to ask about Quake?
So the original Quake wasn't a arena shooter.
No, I mean the multiplayer was, but it did have a single player.
Okay, I never knew that. I thought Quake was just like Unreal Tournament and things of that nature.
No, Quake and Quake 2 both had stories that were very different from each other. By the way, the Quake symbol, that weird like Q looking thing, that's like a crescent moon with like a dagger going through it, that is actually a part of the story, and all the games, they are basically slipgates. They just don't fully show them in the games, I guess, but that's what those are, supposedly. But yeah, no, it's not an arena shooter in terms of like that's all it was, but that was definitely what was popular about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where rocket jumping came from. And
forgot all about rocket jumping.
And telefrags and insta-gibs, or jibs if you want. But that basically Quake and Unreal were constantly competing with each other for the arena shooter stuff.
Gotcha. Sorry,
that's pretty cool.
Message. I was trying to. I'm thinking about selling my Blue Yeti Pro, so I had somebody message me. I just don't use it. I have more professional equipment now.
Yeah, really. Also, on top of that Quake news, we got some bad Halo news. For some reason, Bungie keeps. No, hey.
No, I'm kidding.
Halo.
I like Halo. I like Halo well enough.
I guess it's not Bungie anymore. But anyways, the people that make Halo, Infinite, Microsoft, there we go. That's the company. They're deciding to release
343 Industries is who's developing it.
Yeah, they are releasing it without co-op and a whole bunch of other major features. Boo. What the hell?
Boo.
What are you doing?
You can't do that.
You can't. That's like 90% of the reason people played Halo, besides the multiplayer, is it was one of the first ones that you could do co-op.
Yeah, exactly. Split screen, dude. Split screen. Can we bring back? Well, I guess there's the reason split screen died is because everything is more internet based nowadays.
Yeah, but I would love the option to like do that. I mean,
yeah,
fuck. Or just like give me more games that I can play on the couch with my friends or roommates.
exactly.
Or significant other, whatever.
There's kind of a hybrid for it now with like Steam Play with Friends or something like that, where if one person owns it, you can still play with other people. That's kind of like a nice, it's not split screen, but you can still play with your buddies, Yeah, I still got my N64, dude. I would love to just chill and play with my N64.
Like, and the like just having more co-op games that like both people don't need to own the damn game, or like I would like to be able to sit on the couch playing co-op with my friend or friends, and we can talk right there. We don't have to be in separate houses, or they bring all their equipment
in a separate room or something. And I think really the only things that you can really do that anymore is like sports games or maybe racing games. But like,
I mean, there's a bunch of indie games that still allow
true
couch co-op.
Indie. Yeah, that's true. I don't know why I forgot about indie. That's like my shtick.
That is your shtick.
So
like Enter the Gungeon.
I would love to play Enter the Gungeon with other people. I did it like twice, and it's so fun, but it's even more chaotic.
It's horrid.
You don't like Enter the Gungeon?
No, I meant horrid as in the chaos is horrid.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot more to think about, especially because it doesn't split screen. It does the classic camera, like bungee, what's it called? Tug of war.
Where it follows the main character mostly.
Yeah. So, yeah, Halo not releasing with co-op. I'm sure it'll be added. I'm sure they'll do an update, but
that's like a Call of Duty releasing without multiplayer. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remake.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that should be in the game at launch. I don't. Remember back in the day when there were cartridges, and if they had to do an update, they would just recall the game?
I did not know that. I never had that happen.
Maybe not recall, but there were games that had updates, and they would re-release it. That's why some cartridges it's like some speedrun glitches are cartridge based or something like that. If you have this version, you can do this or things like that.
No, I didn't know that at all. That's something new.
I don't think it was super common, but I'm fairly certain it was a thing. And then if it was really extreme, you could have like a Sega Genesis Sonic and Knuckles where it was an expansion cart that you had to plug into the other cart.
You remember
was
when
weird, man?
You remember when paid DLC was just called an expansion and it was basically another game?
Yeah. They kind of do those nowadays, though. I mean, like, I think Last of Us had one of those. Uncharted did one of those.
Doom Eternal.
Is Doom Eternal? Oh, you mean like Doom Eternal as a game, or it had an expansion?
It had, the newest DLCs are story expansions.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's kind of coming back, but
yeah, like the one that I always remember, because I mean, of course, you got like Sims and all the expansions with those.
Yeah.
The one that I remember that I was always happy with was MechWarrior 3. They had a gold edition, which was the original MechWarrior 3 game and the expansion MechWarrior 3 Pirate's Moon, which was hard as fuck because it was just on a fucking moon and it's pitch black space. So your mech has a flashlight on it. And you'll just be walking. You'll be walking along in your giant robot, and all of a sudden, that's a moon. That's a moon fucking abyss, and you'll just like fall into this crater and then explode.
That sounds like a horrible game.
It was so fun. I beat it like twice in my entire childhood. It was so hard.
I'd love to see Yahtzee review that.
It was MechWarrior 3 was fun, man, but MechWarrior is a very niche community.
Mm-hmm. I never played MechWarrior. I played Heavy Gear back in the day.
Not the same.
Yeah, I've heard. I've thought about trying to play Heavy Gear again because, of course, I didn't know what stuff was back then. It's like, activate your perks. I don't know what any of this means.
Let me take a look. Heavy Gear.
There was a new one recently. People hated it.
Oh, Heavy Gear looks somewhat like Mech Warrior. Somewhat.
I had Heavy Gear 2 back in the day.
Mech Warrior always had the benefit of just being American mechs, which means we're just giant walking tanks. Yeah, that's the difference between like Mech Warrior versus Gundam. Is Gundam is trying to be as humanoid and fast as possible. Mech Warrior's like, we want 50 missile launchers on this thing, and it should walk really slow and be able to take a beating. But like the Mech Warrior games, especially the Mech Warrior Online, because I haven't played Mech Warrior 5, it's all about customization. Like you find the mech you want that has the different like weapon types that you can get, and then you build it, and you put as much armor as you want on it, and you put all the coolant areas, the different weapons. It allows a lot of customization and variety, and it is really easy to fuck it up so people just fucking destroy you.
Yeah. Oh, Heavy Gear was a tabletop RPG, I think.
So was Mech Warrior.
This makes sense.
Mech Warrior was originally known as Battletech, which, fantastic sci-fi book series.
Didn't they just release a Battletech game recently?
They also released Mech Warrior 5.
Yeah.
Battletech is similar to XCOM, I believe.
Yeah, it's an isometric, it's a big grid though, so it's not like a map of a bunch of different things. Some of the Activision owned both Heavy Gear and Battletech Mech Warrior, but it was heavy. They'd made Heavy Gear after losing the rights to Battletech and Mech Warrior.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Interesting.
Yeah, they also released Mech Warrior 5, which is akin to the original Mech Warrior series, so it's a mech simulator. That has online co-op. Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. But yeah, anyways, I think we got a little off the deep end there.
Super Bernie World on Steam.
Hey,
I don't know. That was interesting. Anyway, we went hard on gaming today. I do have some music news. Starting off. Oh, go ahead.
I forgot. Also, new Wukong trailer. It's gameplay. For people that don't know, this is I believe, Chinese-made game. It's a Souls-like, and you play as the mythical entity known as Wukong, which is basically the Monkey King, and he uses a staff and lots of magic, and the gameplay looks amazing. Also release Metroid Dread. I am getting hyped. This is a dangerous area. I'm willing to buy a Switch. I am going to cry if it is bad. It can't be.
I would hold off on buying a Switch until reviews come out.
I mean, to be fair, I've wanted a Switch for a while. I just always was like, I'm going to hold off until they release Metroid Prime or Metroid Prime Trilogy. And since neither of those are happening, but Metroid Dread's happening. Also, I loved the hard drive article. Nintendo announces Metroid Prime 5. They're just going to skip Prime 4.
A common joke was they should do that with Half-Life 4. You got any more game news?
Nah, I think that's good.
Do you have any music news?
No, I'm sure there's some bands I'm looking forward to hearing new music from that are releasing. Obscura, for one. Insomnium's got a new.
To much Obscura.
You might one day. Insomnium is releasing an EP. That's all I can think of at this current juncture.
Interesting. There was another Iron Maiden song that dropped. I didn't finish it.
No.
It's just it sounds very tired. If I want to listen to Maiden, I'll stick to the classics. I hate to be that guy because I still love I love newer Metallica. I can handle I even like a couple of newer Slayer songs, or I like Sabbath's last record, but it's just not that good. So if you guys enjoy it, of course, I hope you continue to. Don't let me crap on your fun. Let's see. We have At the Gates' Thomas Lindberg thinks it will be better when today's young adults take charge. I agree. Yep. Thank you, Thomas Lindberg. There's really not much to... Well, I mean, they go into a little bit of the Nightmare of Being. I haven't looked through the full interview, but Yeah, the old people are dying out, and so will their ideals. Continuing.
Oh, wait, hold on. I want to add to that. I saw some meme that somebody posted, and it hit a little too close to home.
Uh-huh.
We typically don't have 60 to 80-year-olds working in the field anymore. Why the hell are they in government?
Yeah, that's fair. Ed Sheeran might collaborate with Dani Filth.
So they'll just make garbage.
I mean, like, it's kind of cool, but I can tolerate Ed Sheeran. I would rather listen to Ed Sheeran than Cradle of Filth.
I would listen to a Cradle of Filth instrumental.
That's fair. I just don't like Dani. I don't like Dani Filth. It's just
his vocals suck too. But as a person, he's just obnoxious.
Yeah. Folk pop singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran suggested he was open to making a death metal album earlier this year, citing Cradle of Filth as one of his childhood favorites.
Ah, yes. My favorite death metal band, Cradle of Filth.
Well, he's a pop star. What do you expect? But it's cool. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, why are pop stars wearing metal t-shirts? They might like metal.
They might like metal.
I don't... You know, I mean, it's cool that might happen. I'm probably not. I might.
You'll check it out because you have to. I'll check it
out because I have to. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. But I'm not going to listen to the whole thing unless if it blows my mind. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I can be hopeful, but it is cool that like I believe Ed Sheeran was the #1 Spotify artist for a while.
Yeah, so he released some popular music. I mean, he was even in Game of Thrones, which a lot of people apparently hated his spot. I didn't think it was bad at all.
I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Well, that's fine. I haven't either, but I watched the scene because everyone was having a carfuffle about it.
And a classic kerfuffle?
Yes, a classic carfuffle. Also, Mastodon was in Game of Thrones.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they played, I believe, a bunch of White Walkers, but I could be wrong.
I thought you were about to say they played a bunch of white people. I'm like...
Well, yes.
Like, but, okay. All right.
But yeah, like all these like musician guest spots are typically just like, hey, they were in the thing. Like Ed Sheeran, I think, was just a random like soldier person sitting by a fire playing a folk tune. Okay. Why are people getting like super upset? It sounded fine.
Yes. So that might be interesting. I might look it up, or I might check it out. Trivium released a new song called Feast of Fire. They announced a new album of the title In the Court of the Dragon. I think they released the song In the Court of the Dragon as well.
That was their first single.
Yeah, I listened to part of it. I thought it was fine. I have not listened to this yet. I'll probably check out the album once it drops. I really did like What the Dead Men Say.
Yeah, it was
a solid record.
Did you look back at that song I told you to look at by Trivium from that album? And I'm telling you, his cleans, he's really sounding like Corey Taylor.
I know the song Catastrophist. I have not listened to it again, but I could, from memory, I could kind of see where you're coming from. I'll take him sounding like Corey Taylor over sounding like David Draymond, like he did in The Sin and the Sentence. So,
I mean, funny enough, David Draymond helped with that album. Yeah,
I know.
I granted, I didn't mind The Sin and the Sentence, but I think Where the Dead Men Say is a better album. Everything beats Silence in the Snow. Sorry, Matt.
I've never. I think I tried listening to one song off of that, and I was like, whatever.
Give me Shogun 2, please.
You're never gonna get Shogun 2,
please.
You're never gonna get Shogun 2. You're never gonna get Ascendancy 2. You're never gonna get like those are like their two most popular
best
metal.
Album.
Yeah, never gonna happen. At best, you might get What the Dead Men Say too.
Machine Head, give me The Blackening too. That's definitely never going to happen.
Screw Machine Head.
Machine Head you didn't fully hate that album. You just kind of hated it.
I can't stand. I hate Rod Flynn with passion.
That's fair.
Randy Blythe urges Lamb of God concert goers to get vaccinated and, quote, wear an effing mask. I agree. Nothing really to say here.
People know our stance at this point.
Yeah, speaking of COVID, Corey Taylor tests positive for COVID-19. It's a bit of a bummer. I hope he heals well. He said he is vaccinated, so he probably won't have too many issues. But
he did say he was pretty sick, though.
Yeah. Was that a joke?
No.
There's a Slipknot song called Sick. That's what I was making sure.
In like a subtext somewhere it said he was feeling pretty bad.
Yeah, I wish I had better news. I woke up today. This is a quote. I woke up today and tested positive. I'm very, very sick, so I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend. I'm absolutely devastated. I am so sorry. Yeah, I hope all is well for Corey Taylor. You know, getting it at all sucks. At least he is vaccinated, so hopefully it won't cause any major issues like it did with I think what's his name from Tool had some lasting issues.
Oh, James. Yeah. James Maynard Keenan.
Which even though I'm not a fan of their music that much, it sucks that
not
it
James.
Messed up his.
It's just Maynard. My bad.
It's Maynard. Maynard James Keenan. So there's that, and this is just stupid. So, but it's also kind of funny. There was a post on Metallica's subreddit. A fan didn't realize that Hardwired to Self-Destruct released in 2016. He thought it was an album leak and posted about it on the Metallica subreddit. And it's
fucking beautiful.
Slodwire says, this isn't a joke. Okay, well, there's a pretty solid chance it's a troll, but the reactions are quite hilarious, so we'll proceed anyway. I hope it's real. I hope this person is dumb enough to think it's real. But it was, I saw the headline. Oh yeah, there's that list that I'm going to do at the bottom of the article.
Gross.
I hate that. Anyway, yeah, so that was dumb. I saw the headline for that last night. I'm like, what does that even mean? The headline was, fan thinks Metallica's most recent album hasn't been released yet. So my first thought was, yeah, their most recent album hasn't released. They haven't released another album yet. What does this article mean? But now I know, and I think I was happier when I didn't know.
Right.
So that's all I got on news. All right, everybody, let's get on to the main event. In this corner, we have Mitchell and actually in this metaphor, would Devin Townsend be in your corner because you gave it, or would it be Mr. Bungle because you're reviewing it?
In this corner, Mitch, and the other corner, Mr. Bungle, because I'm fighting it.
It was more over like I was re-announcing what we were doing. I didn't know, like, anyway, whatever. This metaphor is stupid.
Two fights. There's two fights tonight.
Okay, fair enough. All right, yeah. In this corner, we have Mitchell Wade. On the other corner, we have Mr. Bungle's Disco Volante, and I guess Strapping Young Lads City is there for moral support.
Oh no, it's a tag team. Mitch wasn't prepared.
It's a handicap match. It turned from boxing into wrestling. I forgot. There's wrestling news. You won't care, but maybe other people will. CM Punk returned after 7 years away from the wrestling business. He returned at AEW.
Holy shit.
It actually is kind of cool because he was a very, very highly regarded wrestler. He left because he couldn't stand the WWE. They sent him his pink slip on his wedding day.
Oh, that's
which
nice.
they claimed was an accident. But Vince McMahon is insane.
To be also fair, it does sound like something that they would do just to like stage for a WWE fight.
Yeah, but it was legit.
Unfortunately, it was legit. I'm just saying, like, it does sound like someone's like, you've been fired from WWE, and then he comes in as a surprise from Raw.
Man, CM Punk has been a rumor for the past 7 years of every major show. It's like, CM Punk's gonna come back, man. CM Punk's he re-signed, brother. He actually did do a re-signing with WWE, but not a performer. He was a spokesperson for their like talk show or something for a little while. It didn't last long, and he debuted yesterday at AEW's Rampage. A lot of people were excited. There's a crying CM Punk fan meme now, and I can't tell if people are making fun of him or supporting him. I did see a Instagram post of a wrestler named Tommy Dreamer He's like a classic guy. He's been in the business forever. He's like, I want to find out who this is, and I'm going to fly him out to the next show. I'm like, oh, that's awesome of you, man. So I assume people were being a dick. But that's cool. I'm kind of excited for that. I don't really watch wrestling anymore, but I do keep up with it in like background stuff, so I know when I should be mad about stupid things. Oh, I guess Bray Wyatt is going as well. Everybody was shocked that he got fired from WWE because he had like the most entertaining character known as The Fiend. Everybody loved The Fiend, and they've always treated Bray like garbage, which sucks because he has a great mind for the business and he's very creative. So it's a rumor that he's going to AEW as well. And I think WWE signed their own death warrant. They released a ton of people from NXT, which is like you watch NXT if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, because it's more about the performance and not stupid, really bad storylines. So anyway, I completely forgot about that. I didn't have it pulled up. It just popped back into my head because of the handicap match thing. So
that I am going through.
Yes. So prior to us starting this real quick, I will say there is a little inside baseball for the show. One of the bad things about Mitchell and I working together now is that we give each other a lot more hints about what we were feeling about records than we used to. Back when
I didn't say anything.
Yeah. So I have known Mitch's opinion on this album for a few weeks now. I don't know if it's changed at all in terms of specifics. I do know he watched some I wouldn't say video essay, but other things about the said album. He is going to be, so Mitchell, what do you have to say about this avant-garde? Hold on, what it's labeled as? It is
avant-garde.
Avant-garde metal fusion experimental album, Disco Volante.
Yes. Well, before I get into that, I would like to last episode I fucked up. Everyone knows it that listens to multiple episodes. I figured, I would start with an appetizer because it's going to be short. I listened to the wrong Strapping Young Lad album. I listened to Alien instead of City. Now, I enjoyed Alien quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I had complaints. I then listened to City. I've only listened to it once, so I'm just giving you a very brief, this is how I feel about it. I really liked it. I thought it was good. It was a bit less experimental, if I remember correctly. It was kind of more straight metal-ish.
Yeah.
I don't remember many talking parts of it at all, which was my main complaint.
Yeah, I don't remember many either. This album, I think, has my favorite Strapping Young Lad song, which is Oh My God. I love that track. It's just...
It's a pretty heavy album, pretty good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's Devi, but it's Devi before he was Devi.
I found out there's a Wikipedia or a wiki named Heavy Devi Wiki.
Good. Yeah, he likes to go by Heavy Devi sometimes. If you like Strapping Young Lad or any of Devin Townsend in general, you should check it out. I don't think Devin's really released a bad album. I think he's released some that are just kind of like meh. But Devin is an experimental avant-garde musician and composer. So you never know what you're going to get. Now, is he as avant-garde as the legends of Mr. Bungle? No, he is not. I'm going to state this right now. I have, music theory background. People know this. I sometimes talk about it. Avant-garde is a very hard genre to talk about because something is only avant-garde for so long. Like, it will always be an avant-garde album or band. But as soon as other people start doing that stuff, it becomes less of that. And avant-garde and experimental can be interchanged in terms of wording. So that's fine. The first time people really started that I can think of talking about avant-garde as a genre of music would be in the 20th century with jazz musicians known like Coltrane, where that was avant-garde jazz, where it kind of threw it, like jazz in general kind of threw music theory out the window. It said, okay, we've been writing Bach, Beethoven, Mozart music for so long. And yes, we have been experimenting, but not to the extent that we want. So ragtime came out as a thing.
Okay.
Then ragtime was the beginning of jazz. And then from there, you got, like your big band jazz, your swing jazz, all that stuff. And then Coltrane and a whole bunch of other jazz musicians is like, no, we're going to take a step further. And so if you listen to Coltrane's Giant Steps, it is literally like, it starts off with like, standard sax opening, but then it's like 5 minutes of like saxophone, just out the wall solo.
And this is John Coltrane?
Yes.
What
fantastic
song was it again?
Giant Steps.
And this is I assume this is like freeform jazz?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is.
I've never really listened to a lot of jazz. I actually thought jazz was a lot older than you said.
No, like maybe late 19th century, early 20th century. Yeah. I'll keep talking while this is going. But lots of key changes to the point that it's almost atonal in nature. And atonality was experimented a lot with in the 20th century, along with a rhythmic stuff. And so you get things like minimalism with John Cage, who was very famous for doing the piece 4:33, which stands for 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. Mm-hmm. To me, not really a musical piece, but a more form of philosophical experimentation, because he was trying to show that the crowd and the surrounding sounds were just as much a part of the musical performance as the actual music playing itself.
Right.
Sure, that's fair. I absolutely hate that people call it a music piece. I hate that he calls it a music piece. He even sued people that tried to do like a funny version of like 4 minutes and 34 seconds or something like that. And he actually like sued them.
Did it go through?
I can't remember, but it's just kind of an asshole thing. Let me look up other famous minimalist composers.
I really like this, by the way.
Yeah. And you should hear some of Mr. Bungle in there, almost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I'm not going to obviously take much of your notes away, but something that I see here in the world of mixing and engineering, you have a stereo field. You have your left channel and your right channel. And in this particular piece, the saxophone is mostly, I just took off the headphone to check, is mostly coming out of the left. And all of the drums are coming out of the right ear. And that's something that Disco Volante plays around with here and there throughout, like weird stereo spacing.
Which is something I'm not even going to notice. Because audio engineering isn't really my thing as much as I would like it to be.
Well, if you talk about certain songs, then I recognize that I'll point it out. Have you ever heard of the website Map of Metal?
Yes.
I love Map of Metal. I was checking. It's been so long since I've looked at it. I went on there and clicked on their avant-garde metal section. The first song on there is a Mr. Bungle song. But I was always, especially nowadays, I'm kind of confused by the placement of Meshuggah in the avant-garde metal section. And maybe it's just because I'm so used to it and that gent has kind of, or at least that style has just become normalized. Like, I don't consider New Millennium Cyanide Christ an avant-garde metal song. I don't consider Perpetual Black Second one. I've never heard of any of these other people. Oh no, the Ocean Collective is on this.
Yeah, sure. They've done
The Origin of God.
I'm not familiar with that.
Huh. Interesting. I might have to look at this website a little bit more again. But anyway, continue.
Well, just to get into that, I mean, for all people need to know, avant-garde is similar in saying Renaissance or new movement. It's something that's new. Mm-hmm. Whoever was the first progressive death metal band. I'm going to say Opeth, but that's probably not right. It was probably, maybe...
Let's look it up.
Oh, God.
First, it might have been Death first.
Yeah, but death was more like death metal, or just whatever the first of a genre is going to be technically avant-garde. People that add to that but maybe build off of it become avant-garde, or they become post musicians, because like post because I hate the term shoegaze. I would rather call like old Deaf Heaven, because now they're a new thing. Their newest album, not metal at all. Clean vocals, everything. They like completely ditched the black metal thing. But like New Bermuda, which I love that album. That is a good example of what people call shoegaze, but what I like to call post black metal, because it's taking basically all post music is it's taking whatever the old style was, like black metal, and adding something of whatever might be new in music. Yeah. So atmospheric stuff was getting really popular around when Deaf Heaven was doing their thing, but also adding major chords and stuff. So that's why they became post black metal, but also shoegaze was a genre.
And was their first album wasn't Sunbather?
No, there was one before Sunbather.
Gotcha. That's the only experience I've had with Deaf Heaven.
I really recommend New Bermuda. I think it's better than Sunbather. Some people would disagree with me.
I also do have an answer on who were the earliest progressive death metal bands.
Okay, go.
Death is one of them. They list Human, the album. Also, Cynic.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Cynic was that old.
Yeah, Cynic is an old man.
I had no idea. And then the band Atheist.
Oh, I always forget about Atheist. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried listening to them early on. I just wasn't sure. They're adventurous, quote adventurous jazz death metal classics in '89. So maybe they would be considered like the first progressive death metal band. Yeah.
And so just avant-garde is fine to have as a genre label, but it's more of a time period label for the genre. You know, At the Gates might be melodic death metals, the avant-garde area, whatever. But avant-garde, experimental, those are kind of interchangeable. And I will say this right now before going back into my point about minimalism and avant-garde and jazz. Mr. Bungle, those musicians are very, very good, talented musicians and composers. You could not accidentally write something like this.
Yeah.
Because people that write music and they don't know much about music in terms of theory, or you don't even really need to know about theory, but just knowing like sounds and understanding genres and stuff can really help. People that don't understand that, typically, there are always outliers to anything, will write similar to what they like to listen to. This is why I always, say, no, a good musician or composer doesn't need to know music theory to do what they need to. There are plenty of blues and jazz musicians that have never seen a single note in their life, but they can play really well and they can write really good music, but they almost stick to those rules and they don't even know the rules that they're sticking to. It's just habit. It's how musicians are and how humans are. It is much easier to break the rules if you know the rules to be broken. And so it is very clear that Mike Patton and the rest of Mr. Bungle know what they're doing. They're good at their instruments. They're good at composing. They are great, fantastic musicians and composers. I will not argue against that whatsoever. And I will start this now. Absolutely fucking hated this album. I will get into the reasons why, but I want to talk a little bit more about the minimalism movement and everything. For people that don't know, I took a music theory class in college that was the 4th level music theory, and it was all about 20th century writing and everything. So I had to learn about all this crap. Basically, there are periods in music. Currently, we're in the contemporary period. And it's hard to really talk about contemporary music as a period because we've had so many genres and instrument changes and explosions in music, and the internet exists now, so like combining music and sampling and sharing instruments, and it's so huge. So I don't know historically if the contemporary period is over and there's something more. But prior to that, you had the classical era, which was Baroque, classical, and romantic. Yeah. After that, you get into, and that is also not including, as far as I know, tribal music, folk music, because blues was still kind of a thing back in the 17 and 1800s, since it started with African slave songs and everything. So those periods of music are not encompassing all music. They're not encompassing Eastern. They're encompassing Western standardized music. But when you get into the 20th century, just everyone was like, let's experiment the hell out of this. You have Stravinsky, who's like the first composer that is famous to use what is known as the devil tone, which is just a tritone. It is the most like dissonant interval that you can have. And people freak the hell out. There were apparently riots at his performance and everything. And it was The Rite of Spring, which is a pagan musical ballet, pagan ballet. Sorry. It's pretty freaking metal sounding at points. It has a lot of dissonance. It's very heavy at points, very rhythmic, and like chuggy. And it's hilarious to say this because this is a symphonic piece. Yeah. No guitars or anything. It's just horns and brass and woodwinds and strings and everything. But like you can definitely hear early heavy metal in it and death metal and everything. And all this experimentation started exploding. Then you got the people that are like doing minimalism, like John Cage and Steve Reich and Philip Glass. And I hate these composers because they're really annoying at points, but they do some really cool things. John Cage, we already know. Steve Reich did this really cool thing called It's Gonna Rain. And all he did was take 2 tape recorders and play them together. That's it. And it's on repeat. It's this gentleman saying it's going to rain. Tape recorders don't play at the same speeds. So slowly it gets out of sync and keeps getting out of sync. And then it gets resynced later on. And that was his entire thing. That's what he did. But then he started writing pieces to do that. There's like one with just voices and it's like singing and they're like choir voices and they're singing the same thing over and over again, but they're getting out of sync. And it's really fascinating and interesting. They've got one with violins and it's just small little things that do big things. And, along with jazz, Mr. Bungle and all of them are kind of dealing with this stuff. They're trying to take information from the old, bring it into the new, do really interesting, fascinating things. Now, there's our music history. Go check it out. The 20th century was just fascinating for music if you're really into music. Jazz was cool. The symphonic stuff and experimentation from Steve Reich, Philip Glass, and John Cage were really interesting. You got Stravinsky and all those like early symphonic 20th century composers. You have the invention of the theremin. Recording started becoming a thing. Radio became a thing. The Beatles and then the invention of pop industry became a thing. Even though the pop industry with rock and roll was kind of a thing, the Beatles really accelerated. It's not the Beatles' fault. It's unfortunately the industry's fault. But that's when the synthesizers came out, techno, electronic music, just, people really experimenting and exploding in genres, rock, metal, rap, hip hop. And this is where all those like annoying little subgenres start coming in and all that. So, Mr. Bungle, what they like to do is they like to take classic music theory, pretty much throw it out the window, incorporate a lot of jazz theory, but also take little tidbits of rock, electronic, techno, experimental, Eastern music, which I didn't even bring up, and just pluck it in and throw it about. This album is incredibly hard to listen to. It is very oppressive. It is very dynamic in, to me, a bad sense. It is constantly causing, backlash and whiplash here and there and everywhere. There's no consistency except the chaos itself. And I hate that. I, as a musician, a music lover, and a composer, love experimentation, but I have a hard limit. And this went way past that limit. I think bands that do experimentation really well, but don't push it too much, are people like Deaf Heaven, Haken, Devin Townsend, Opeth to an extent, but not really, Gojira, all those like folk metal bands and other things. They're playing it safe a little bit in their music, but they're still incorporating experimentation. Devin Townsend still has transitions that flow really nicely together. Even though he's pulling from different genres, they seemingly tend to blend together. Haken does the same thing. Here with Mr. Bungle, the transitions are hard all the time. It feels like all of a sudden you're like in a John Coltrane jazz solo, and then it gets into like kind of circusy, quiet horror music all of a sudden.
Death metal.
Death metal out of fucking nowhere. The very first track is just very dissonant, in your face, oppressive. It's so stressful. And Ethan made me watch, an album review discussion, whatever you want to call it. And I agreed with the guy.
Let me get that guy's name, because I like the information
let's call him out. Not call him out. Not call him out. Mention him. There we go.
Yeah, give me 1 second. It was a Disco Volante review. Because I also watched this guy's video on... Oh, his name is very... I also watched his video on that Dillinger Calculating Infinity, and I thought it was very interesting. The channel is Make Weird Music.
Yeah.
Very cool. If you want to, he has a whole playlist called Jaw Droppers, and that is where Calculating Infinity is, and I believe the Disco Volante was the first entry on that as well. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and so a lot of what I'm saying, I'm kind of borrowing from him in a little bit, because I agreed. Now, he came to the conclusion that you could end up really liking this piece. And I think this falls in the same area as liking Primitive Man to an extent.
Yeah, okay.
In which it's less that you're liking it because you enjoy the sound, and more you're liking it for music's sake, or you're seeing the small bits form into the big picture. But for me personally, it's just too much. It's a sensory overload. I was literally, while working at our job, hitting my head against the chemical hood that I have to work out of during certain parts. Not, to the point that I was causing a concussion, but it made me go, why? What the hell? This doesn't sound good. Who is enjoying this? It's a step above the weirdness that you felt in I can't remember the band. Yeah, Dissona. This is like 2 tiers above that. Because sometimes Dissona did soft changes in their genre, or at least waited until another song. But this just feels like it has no flow. It's chaos to be chaotic. And that's not a bad thing. It's just not my thing. And that's why I have to preface, these are good musicians. It's just like Primus. They're very fantastic musicians. They know what they're doing. Les Claypool is a beast at bass. I mean, he's up there with Tosin Obasi on guitar, and I can't remember that extremely famous rock bass player.
Flea? Oh, I thought you were talking about Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, though Flea is up there, and the guy that does Durn.
Oh, the guy from
Mudvayne guy. But no, I was thinking of Victor Wooten.
Oh, well, yeah, Victor Wooten, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Les is right up there, in my opinion, with those bass players. But I have a sound that I really like. I do enjoy experimentation, but, this was just an overload. This was too much. I could not handle it. I am not avant-garde enough for this shit. I was constantly thinking to myself, what is this John Cage avant-garde bullshit that I'm having to listen to? It's an experience. That is to be said. Whether you enjoy it or
I
not,
agree with that.
I mean, if you enjoy this, I don't know what to tell you. You might be a fucking serial killer. But if you appreciate it on a music level, I can respect that. From what I've heard of California by Mr. Bungle, fantastic. Great. It's an experimentation, but it's not to the same extent. And it is much more listenable and much more pleasant to listen to. So, would I recommend this? If you want to dive into experimental music and you want to see a band that knows genres and knows how to utilize them in such a way and just
utterly unravel them,
listen to this album. If you like lots of melody and you like good flow, this probably isn't your album. I'm not going, if I was going to give this a number, it would be a 1 out of 10. But that's based on my enjoyment, not the actual, musicianship or anything along those lines. Ethan, I fucking hate you. Why did you do this to me and for an entire month?
Okay, so the entire month thing was both of our faults. Secondly, I gave you the option of choosing the self-titled or this. I figured you would probably like California. And I do recommend you listen to California. Maybe in the future I might give you California, but not for a long time.
Mitch is Mike Patton out.
Huh?
Mitch is Mike Patton out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I knew going in, and I agree with a lot of things. This album is hard to listen to by design. When I was editing the last episode and when I was talking about Persephone, there was and I'm not using this as a defense for this because obviously it counts the same way. When I was saying Persephone kind of gets up their own butt with how long and extravagant some of the clean melodic verby parts, your reply was, well, that's what they were going for. And I'm like, true, but that doesn't mean I have to enjoy it.
Right.
Which totally flips into here, and I'm not by any means telling you that you have to enjoy it. I do appreciate that you said you respect it. This is by design. Almost every song is a different genre. With songs like Carry Stress in the Jaw, it is multiple genres within the same song. There's no I think the only song that has decent like transitions that make sense is Desert Search for Techno Allah, and that's more of like an EDM type track. It's a bit more groovy. I don't think it has very many metal parts in it. It's one thing that I have issues with on this album. Very similar to how I described Desona. I think this is an album of moments and not exactly an album of songs. There are parts of Desona that I liked, and there are parts of Desona that I did not like. Similar to this album, there are parts that I do like, and there are parts that I don't like. And then there are parts where I just think are interesting. It is weird because I do agree that this blows Desona out of the park when it comes to chaos and the weird genre switching, but I think I actually like this more than Desona, and it might just be because I like the chaos of it more than things in Desona, because there were some things in Desona that didn't make sense, but they continued thought that it should. Like in the first song where it transitions from the underground and then it goes into like this EDM breakdown into like weird electronic synth flare-ups under growling. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it made any sense. Whereas in this, if you listen to like Carry Stress in the Jaw, I'm like, it doesn't make sense, but they're owning it that it doesn't make sense. And I will agree with you. The first time so just a little background on my listening to Mr. Bungle. The only song until I decided to sit down and listen to all of Mr. Bungle that I knew was the track My Ass Is on Fire on their original, on the self-titled, which is their first actual release. They had a few demos prior, which are more along the lines of thrash and death metal, which of course they revisited with the re-release of the release of their last record. And My Ass Is on Fire is very chaotic, but it also flows. It has musical direction. It has, consistency, which this album does not have. I will agree with you. So I sat down to listen to it, and even Mr. Bungle, the self-titled album, I think is a bit stranger than Disona, mainly due to instrument choices. I think they have like Calliope moments and like weird, people call it a clown metal album for a reason. It has a lot of like weird circusy type sounds to it, but it is definitely way more listenable than Disco Volante. When I gave you the option of Mr. Bungle versus Disco Volante, you did say just go all in, to which I believe I laughed when you said that. So I was like, all right, let's go. I think that by design, it's also weird because this was published by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense.
Warner Brothers, they must have said, hey guys, how's the album going? And they just see Mike Patton like rolling around on the floor screaming and doing weird stuff. It's like, all right. And then he just leaves.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? You just do you, man.
You do you. The last Faith No More record did well.
I will say this. I did not enjoy Mike Patton's performance on this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, the vocals in general weren't strong. And I literally mean a lot of his parts were very hummed in and mumbled.
I can agree to that. I did like the moments where he was like following along with instruments, like in Carrie Stress in the Jaw. It had the bum 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 bum. I liked moments like that. When I was talking about the panning thing in Desert Search for Techno, once the vocals come in, they're strictly out of the left ear. He's going to the me a mod, me the Makata world, or whatever. Actually, what are these lyrics?
For people to know,
okay,
this is sung gibberish. In multiple. Yeah, this is sung in multiple languages, including gibberish.
Is this just straight gibberish, or is this because there is a song? I'm gonna try saying this. Mamishka Masquaz.
That one's in Italian.
That is not in Italian. That is straight gibberish.
They have a song in Italian.
Yeah, I believe that would be Violenza Domestica.
Yes.
I'm going to send you a link to the Metallum page for this.
No, thank you.
They typed out lyrics for the gibberish one.
Beautiful.
It's so stupid. But I was, where's Google Translate? Google Translate. I want to see if this is something. Nope, I forgot. I still had the link in there. So it's like, yeah, that looks like English, bud. Okay, so yeah, all right. The part of Disco Allah is in Arabic, which makes sense. It stands for the value. Right. The value of the value of a long, the value of a complete human being. No idea if that's accurate, because Google Translate is kind of sus.
Right. But yeah, there's 4 languages. There's gibberish, which is not a language. There's Italian. There's
Pig Latin
Arabic.
If Pig Latin is a language, gibberish should be a language.
Pig Latin is a code language. It's a little different.
Nonsense.
Not to be confused with computer code. And English. Yeah.
Of course.
Also, to add, I hated all the voices. I hated the old man. I hated the creepy baby.
I didn't like the old man. The creepy baby at least was interesting because it wasn't with music. So like the old man was. I did like Platypus. So there is a thing I can complain about in this album, and I guess you touched on it. It's not really clear what is being said most of the time, because I think I kind of think Mike Patton was probably, or at least the way I'm choosing to look at it, it's kind of like the voice is another instrument type thing, especially when he's scatting or doing weird stuff. Yeah, this album's strange. The Bends is a track that I think is very interesting, but I do not like it. Especially the ending, which is it just turns into white noise, and then there's the sudden transition into backstroking. I enjoy the idea of Disco Volante. There are certain tracks that I can sit down and actually listen to. I think Chemical Marriage isn't that bad. I thought that was okay. I do enjoy Desert Search for Technoala. I actually think that is a good song. And then I think After School Special is funny. Except for the Creepy Baby. I don't like the Creepy Baby. Creepy Baby's kind of creepy. So I definitely agree with you that this is a hard listen. I knew that going in. I figured this is something that you were either going to absolutely despise or that you would get some sort of sick enjoyment out of, like me. I kind of figured you were going to go into the first one, but you chose it, dang it. And
you gave me the option.
I gave you the option. You were like, throw me into the deep end, Dad. And now he couldn't swim, so I had to go in there.
Now I'm scared of water. All of it.
I don't want to go in the water, Dad. I had to rush in with my strapping young lad life preserver. But hey, you listened to it way more times than I thought you would after you told me that you did not like it. So I do appreciate that. And at least you can respect the album, rather. It is sitting at a 93% on Metallum.
I hate all you fucking people.
It's not their highest rated, though. That would be California. That's sitting at a 96. That's the thing when I think your, what's it called? What you just did. Criticisms can only be on to Disco Volante. Disco Volante is not a representation of the band's music at all. So if you hate Disco Volante, that is very understandable. You will probably, by definition, like Mr. Bungle or California or even the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo. Way more.
Nope, go away. Sorry, Succotash is trying to get on my laptop. He is on the laptop keyboard.
I thought you were talking to me. I thought you were going, nope. Get
off. Oh my God. Oh, fucking hate you.
He just wants your help. He wants your love.
Yeah, but that could have fucked up our recording.
True.
Yeah.
But yes, that was that was probably your most in-depth review. I thought that was very entertaining.
And it came with music history.
Yeah, I actually really liked that. It was very, very educational. My review will not be very educational.
It's almost like Mitch wants to be a professor, and I like giving lectures.
Eat. So that was Mr. Bungle's Disco Volante. If you just want to experience some really weird stuff, maybe check it out. If not,
hey, can we add Mr. Bungle to the party of the summer?
Dude,
tour?
Mr. Bungle is playing shows, but I think it's just their thrash music.
Yeah, well, let's just all of Disco Volante along
Disco
with
Volante in its entirety.
Yikes. Along with Party Cannon.
Party of the Summer Tour. Mr. Bungle playing Disco Volante in its entirety.
It's a co-headline tour with Andrew WK and Mr. Bungle and supporting acts of Party Cannon, fucking Primitive Man
and Son
and Bell Witch playing all of Mirror Reaper in its entirety.
I forgot about that too. Right, that's certainly a show. Oh,
that's like a solid 6-hour show.
They have a demo called "God Damn It, I Love America." It has a picture of what's his name from The Shining. That's really weird. Mike Patton, are you okay? I don't think he is.
Have you seen Mike Patton? Of course he's not.
I have seen Mike Patton. Anyway, yeah, so that was Mr. Bungle. I have enjoyed my time with Mr. Bungle. I will probably not sit through Disco Volante in its entirety again at all. I like a couple of songs, but I don't think I can sit through the whole thing again. I do really enjoy the first record, and California is really good as well. Sweet Charity is probably one of my favorite songs by them, which is off of California. Cool. I've been on a Mike Patton kick recently, so I've been listening to a lot of Faith No More. I've been listening to a lot of Mr. Bungle. I started listening to Tomahawk. It's fine. I don't really get Tomahawk, but anyway. Let's move on.
Let's go.
Devin Townsend Project. It's an album. called Deconstruction. This album was released in 2011. It is standing at 9 tracks, 10 if you look at the deluxe version, which I did not. It has an absolute ton of guest spots on it, including the likes of Michael Ockerfeldt, Eson, Joe Duplantier, Paul Masvidal, the guy from Greg Puciato, which is from Dillinger Escape Plan, Frederick Thorndahl of Meshuggah. There's a ton of people on this album. I gave it a few spins over the past month. Let me see. I didn't really sit down with all of the lyrics. I've looked through them a little bit before we started recording. I did read up on the concept album. It's kind of weird though, because with the explanation of what the album is about, it goes straight into the idea of being first of all, this album is kind of a joke album. A little bit. It has a lot of humor in it. It goes straight into the idea of the devil showing him the secrets of the universe and showing him a cheeseburger. And he's the character is a vegetarian and cannot eat the cheeseburger. So that reality is pointless. And like, that's interesting.
I'm a vegetarian.
I can't eat the cheeseburger, guys. I'm a vegetarian. Somebody say beer. Anyway. Did you say beer? That song, that would be the song Deconstruction. It's a funny track. I do like that song a lot. But that's 8 songs in. So I don't know if it mentions the cheeseburger beforehand.
No.
Yeah.
Prior to Satan showing him stuff, it's pretty much just the man going on a journey and thinking and trying to unravel the universe.
Gotcha. Okay. So I did not really write notes, but I do remember most of the record offhand, which is a good start. First, I mean, I think it's safe to say that I did like this album.
Yes.
Any criticisms I have about it are pretty much criticisms that span most of Devin's work. The mix is very, very dense. Sometimes it is difficult. Sometimes it is a little difficult to tell what's going on. Sometimes don't get me wrong,
I
do
of sound, baby.
Yes, it is very easy to have the music a little too loud and to give yourself a headache. That's just, it is very, very compressed, and it's just layers on top of layers on top of layers. And then I think some of the songs are a little too long. I think Stand is a little long. Another criticism that is a little bit more specific to this, I think some of the guest spots were a little understated. I told Mitch my first time through, I didn't even realize that. Like, I knew Michael Ockerfeldt was on it, but listening through, I just thought it was a layer of Devin growling. I didn't realize it was Michael Ockerfeldt on the stand until the second time I listened to it.
And then you're like, oh, there's Blackwater Park.
I'm like, yes, growling. But then there were some situations like in Sumeria, I immediately recognized Joe. I did not realize Paul Masvidal was on there until you told me.
But you've also never listened to Cynic.
I knew that he was on the record. I just didn't realize where. Prior to listening to it in its entirety, I only knew the song Planet of the Apes, mainly because when I was still kind of early on in my metal journey, I heard that the song mentioned Meshuggah, so I listened to the song, and I listened to like the first 5 minutes before it says while we all have lots of bands who influence still, we all rip off Meshuggah. Kind of a weird line, I think, in a concept album. I'm not sure. I don't know if it has any prevalence to the story. Musically, the song is very, very chuggy, much like Meshuggah. It also apparently has the line called that says I've got a little boner. Maybe I should have looked through these lyrics a little bit. I enjoy it. Took me a little bit to really Praise the Lowered. I thought it was cool, and then I really started getting into it once it starts building up. I really like to just move around and dance once it starts really getting into the latter half of the song. And it does. The transitions on the album work really well. The transition between Praise the Lowered and Stand are good. I did not like the first couple times I listened to it. As fair. It went on, I just think it is a little repetitive. It's a little too long for my tastes.
I do like Ockerfeldt's growls in that, though.
Yes, I do. I enjoy that. But after a while, I did kind of get into the vibe. I like the singing on it as well. I also like the lyrics of the "Some Fine Heaven" and stuff like that. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Okay, never mind. I looked at the lyrics. I recognize Jular now. Jular's really good. It has a lot of cool
it's
background
Ular.
chanting. Ular, is that my mistake? Ular is really good. And then this particular song has a lot of consistent snare, if I remember, going on throughout like the entire track following the lyrics, I think. Hold on. I just want to double check. I do know I liked it, but I believe Ular is one of those tracks that it's like, it's fine. But
I fucking love it. That was like my first Devin Townsend track. Yeah, before I had... You said this was 2011, right?
Correct.
This was the tour I saw him on. He did Planet of the Apes and Ular live, obviously, without the guest spots.
Right.
Unfortunately. He didn't do Samaria, which is a disappointment, especially since he was touring with Gojira.
Yeah, that's kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and they could have also done the Sea Shepherd thing together. Granted, they couldn't have done.
I still haven't listened to that yet. I need to.
It's literally a song.
I know. I just keep forgetting. After re-listening to Ular, sorry. I do really like that song. I already talked about Planet of the Apes. I do still like Planet of the Apes. I think it's a little long. I start zoning out near the end. That being said, Sumeria is freaking awesome. I think
that
Sumeria
song is so good.
And the thing is, I told you about it, or I mentioned it once, and you said, I think you had a point, but you said you wanted to wait till recording. Sumeria is actually kind of Gojira-y.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of the writing, I think. The riff, I was like, yes, this sounds like Gojira.
Yeah, I mean, that entire song is very Gojira-y.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy it. I like Joe's vocals on it as well. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about Sumeria other than it absolutely slaps. Now, we come to the mighty Masturbator. It is the longest song on the album at 16 minutes, 28 seconds. Great thing about this, it does not feel like it's 16 minutes and 28 seconds. I think this song is a masterwork in terms of keeping your attention and flow, transitions, up until the very end. I think the very end gets to be a little overstated with the like the carnival music. I think it starts dragging a little bit there when Ziltoid is talking.
I could have done a minute less of that, but
it is really good. I love each section of it. It builds up nicely. I actually did something I guess I have a complaint about is when the lyrics aren't sung, I sometimes have an issue hearing out what he says. In this song, I was able to understand a lot of them. I think it does have segments of getting a little repetitive, like "Save the world, you fool, you child" gets to be a little repetitive. It just lasts a little bit long. I really do like Greg's of the Dillinger Escape Plan's part in this song. I think it's very, very cool. And at the very end, I completely lose track of what Ziltoid is saying. I didn't realize that Ziltoid was even on it until you told me that he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Ziltoid the omniscient." And I was like, cool. And looking at the lyrics now, I wish I did do a sit down and look at the lyrics, because some of these are so stupid, entertainingly great. So, "See the four-faced boy, see the man with 17 testicles, see the child stand back and look into the infinite void." Like, the few times I've gotten to see and notice Devin's humor, I think he's very good at being funny. He's
fantastic live.
Yeah, in the live version of Sumeria that you've sent me in the past, I like the random Ziltoid moment at the beginning. "Ziltoid for president. Phlegm in every cafeteria. Yes, buckets of it."
Yeah. I wonder, because that is the same concert, I believe, as the Mighty Masturbator live video. I wonder if that is literally the aftermath of that or the prior to. I can't remember.
I feel like it would make sense if it was after. Yeah. Mighty Masturbator is good. I don't remember Pandemic that much. I know it's not bad because I don't remember being like, "Ugh, this song sucks." But I think after the Mighty Masturbator, I kind of get into I'm a little tired now.
Yeah, that's how I was too. I was like, the first bit of this album is all right. Then Sumeria hits, or Ular hits, and Sumeria hits, and I'm like, yes. And my masturbator, and I'm like, okay, this is done. We're good.
I mean, the album does run an hour and 10 minutes, so it's a long album, especially for just 9 tracks. That being said, I do like the song Deconstruction quite a bit. It has some really good humor.
Even Guar's part in it?
I forgot Guar was in it. Does he do vocals?
Yes.
Where?
I think he's like some of the spoken word shit.
Oh, like in the beginning?
Either in the beginning or the middle of the song.
Fair enough. I like the intro, other than the farting sounds. I'm like, it's weird that I've been listening to stuff recent. Like, there's a part in Mr. Bungle's first album that does that. Like, the song ends and he goes, I'm gonna go get a coffee, and then it's like some weird stuff, and then that feeds into a song. I'm like, why am I listening to things that have like weird farting and samples? I don't get it. But cheeseburger.
Beautiful.
It's
yeah, he's the vocals on Deconstruction, and Friedrich Thorndal does the solo.
I do like the solo. It's very clear of the solo. He has a very particular style of playing. Here it comes. Oh, good Lord, it's a cheeseburger. The song it has some very clear jokes, including a part where he thinks the song is over, and then it's like, we're not done yet, are we? And then it goes back in. That song's really good. And then I like Poltergeist, if only because it does like a really cool sudden transition into it with Devin shouting, "Let's finish this." I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Fun fact, Poltergeist does not have any guest spot.
I was unaware. But sometimes
I had only song that doesn't have any guest spots.
So yeah, Devin Townsend Project, at this point, I think everybody knows how much of a fan of Devin Townsend both Mitchell and I are. I enjoy this quite a bit. I don't know how it compares to other albums. I don't know if I enjoy a Strapping Young Lad record more than this or not, or Empath, because I think I've listened to all of Empath. And Empath was my first foray into Devin Townsend. It's very, very good. There are a couple complaints I have, but it's kind of, a lot of them are just complaints that happen on Devin Townsend in general, kind of being a little repetitive, maybe staying on a riff a little bit too long, or overstaying the song's welcome, things like that. Overall, I really like Deconstruction. I would probably give it an 8.5 or a 9, somewhere in there. It's very excellent. If you want a somewhat funny, but some really groovy music, and you've never really given a chance. Now that I think about it, I don't know where I would suggest somebody start with Devin Townsend. I think Deconstruction might be a little much.
Deconstruction was actually my first album, and it was too much for me at the beginning. It was something I had to like listen to a couple of times, and then I was like, oh yeah. I think Empath is not a bad way to start, actually. Empath
would be cool. Maybe Strapping Young Lad if you're a bit more into just like your traditional, like maybe you like thrash and things like that. But yeah, Devin Townsend's Deconstruction is very, very good. At least we had one good scoring album on this episode.
On this episode,
I don't think I can rate this. I don't think I can rate Disco Volante. It's one of those albums for me, anyway. I don't think I rated Disona. Now that I think about it,
I can't remember.
I'll have to look again. But anyway, yes. So. Do you have any notes about either album?
Yes. Well, I already said everything that needs to be said about Disco Volante. Deconstruction, I actually saw this on the tour. It was the Atlas Moth, Devin Townsend Project supporting Gojira on their first U.S. headlining tour, doing L'Enfant Sauvage. God, I would kill to relive that concert. It was fantastic. And I shook Devin Townsend's hand.
Oh, Debbie.
Debbie. He gave me a pick.
Nice.
It was really cool.
Do you still have it?
Yes, I do. It has Devin. I think it's Devin. It might be the other guitar player, but it has one of them as a Beavis and Butthead drawing on one side of it. I'll have to find it and send you a picture. But Sumeria is my favorite. I also love UR, but I also like Isan. Even though I haven't listened to much Emperor, I do like his solo work. Sumeria, I thought, was just fantastically written. All the transitions, that like final growl from Joe going into the like little xylophone chimey stuff, and then Paul Masvidal coming in. Just perfect. So there was two things I wanted to say. One, I believe ULR is totally made up. I can't 100% remember. I guess I can look that up right now while I make this point.
What do you mean by made up?
Like it's a completely made up word. However, Sumeria is actually a thing. The Sumerian people, if I remember correctly, are considered to be the very first civilization. Yes, the Sumeria, or the Sumer, is the earliest known civilization in the historical region of southern Mesopotamia.
Yeah, I've heard of Sumeria before.
So I just thought that was interesting because it's an exploration of reality and everything. To be going back and looking at that, it does make sense in the story as well as some of the other stuff going on. I think ULR was just supposed to be like a symbolization of God itself or something like that. But I can't 100% say for certain because it's Devi and Devi's weird.
Man, they released 2 full lengths in 2011.
Other points that I would like to bring in. He had the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra with this. Prague Philharmonic Orchestra is actually a really big part in metal, but where I know them most from, they are the symphony for Septic Flesh on all their albums. Because I've seen them several times pop up for metal. Oh, they're in the metal archives. They have been on albums with a band called After Forever, never heard of them, Blind Guardian, Devin Townsend Project, Dimmu Borgir. They were with Dream Theater on the shitty album. They were with Epica. They were unfortunately with Iced Earth. And Septic Flesh is their big one that they've done constantly with. Oh, and they've been with Yngwie Malmsteen, who can go eat a chode. Because he's a stuck-up piece of shit that is still good at guitar. So, the one thing that you brought up, which was Sumeria sounds a lot like a Gojira part, or a Gojira song. I honestly think a lot of the songs like whatever the guest spot is, he borrows that play style at least a little bit in those songs. Because I do hear a little bit of Opeth in Stand. It's not the entire song. Like, Sumeria is almost all Gojira. But yeah, I think parts of it, you can really, like, he is borrowing those styles.
I mean, that's an interesting thought, but I don't hear, like, for example, I don't hear BT Bam in Planet of the Apes. And I mean, I guess then again, I've never really listened to a lot of BT Bam. Planet of the Apes, I think, is very Meshuggah-y, at least in the beginning.
I mean, I definitely do hear some Opeth with the Stand. Let me see if I can find the part, because if I remember correctly, it was the guitar solo and Stand that really reminded me of it. Yeah, okay, so listen to Stand and skip to like 5:35. I don't know, I get kind of Ghost of Reverie vibes from the guitar solo.
I could see that. The rhythm's not so much, but the solo, yeah.
So, and it could just be me really leaning in and it's just a coincidence. But yeah, Sumeria 100%. It's a Gojira song until Paul Masvidal comes in.
Metal Hammer describes Deconstruction as easily the most deranged, complex, and sonically overwhelming thing he's ever done.
I could see that. I could agree to that. If they were going to say that's the most sonically deranged music ever made, then I haven't listened to Disco Volante.
Hey, Metal Hammer, have you listened to Disco Volante? I'm actually curious. So, critical reception of Deconstruction, they pretty much got like above 4s, at least on professional quote-unquote ratings. On Metallum, it's sitting at a 78% with 8 reviews. I feel like that's a hair. I feel like that's a hair low. Let me see what Mr. Bungle's Disco Volante. I mean, as you can imagine, some of their things are very mixed reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't actually have a ton of major critical reviews on this. They have 2, both of which reviewed fairly well. All Music gave it a 4.5. What did they give Deconstruction? I'm not going to tell you.
What did they give it?
Stylus magazine gave it, quote, I would rather them give a star instead of just like very favorable.
No.
Too wordy. Give me a number. All Music gave Deconstruction a 3.5.
Lame. No taste.
I think 3.5 is a little low. It's also labeled as avant-garde metal.
Yes. He definitely genre hops and
but not on Devin Townsend Project's Metallum page. It is just prog and ambient. I liked Devin Townsend Project's Deconstruction quite a bit.
Woo!
So, is this where we announce the special thing? I think this is when we announce the special thing. Guys,
hey,
we're coming up on a whole year of Distorted Entertainment. I'm surprised we haven't quit yet.
I wanted to put my resignation in today, but I work with this asshole.
He does also work with me. So if all things go well, this episode will be going up on the 25th of August. We've kind of been planning this for the past few episodes. You can hear that because we keep kind of teasing it on the past couple of episodes. For the 1 year anniversary of the show, we're still going to be doing a review, but we're going to be pulling back to do an EP instead of a full-length album. And the reason we're doing that is I had the idea, and then Mitch agreed, maybe stupidly. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I think it might be fun to rank all of the albums we listened to. Individually, like, we're not going to be ranking the albums that we gave the other person because that would be stupid. So, like,
everything I gave you is a 10.
That is not true. Well, we're going to be ranking all of the albums that we gave each other into like a worst to best list. That's the main idea. And I think it'll be kind of cool. I had some other ideas too for maybe like a YouTube video. Maybe just, I had an idea where it's like, I set up my green screen again. It's like on the first year of Distorted Entertainment, we talked about X number of albums, X number of genres, as like a 3 or 4 minute fun little YouTube video to show off my editing, or like to practice editing again, but that might be a little difficult to do. But yeah, so our 1 year anniversary, we're looking on having it come out on the 8th of next month, which is a year and a day after our first 2 episodes, I guess, went up. They went up on the 7th of last year. Yeah, it's been almost a year of this. I'm honestly surprised I had 23 albums to give off the top of my head. I may or may not be running out of music.
I'm not.
I know he's not. But man, I've had a lot of fun over the past year, other than like that 3-month span where I couldn't leave my house because of my knee surgery. That was weird. Distorted Entertainment's been a fun time so far. I'm glad that we stuck with it. I enjoy listening to music, and I appreciate everybody that listens to the show, of course. We'll try to make it through a second year, and we'll see how it goes. So I think that being said, I don't really have any personal stuff to talk about. I got a new cat. I'm trying to do ship stuff. I guess I went and met the band I'm working with for the first time, and that was fun. Brain died. I don't have anything to talk about.
The only thing that's new in my life is our new insurance, or my new insurance, Ethan's old insurance for where we work, covered a fuck ton of the expenses that I have. So I'm glad, because prior to that, I owed more in medical bills than I actually make in a year. So that was cool. The other thing is I am the proud owner of a CPAP now. So if I ever have a future partner, they'll have to sleep next to a person that looks like they're on life support, or a jet fighter pilot. I just pretend that I'm in a dystopian cyberpunk universe, because I do live in one pretty much. If you people, especially if it's not only people that are overweight, obese, but if you are and you feel constantly groggy or just not good and irritable, maybe get a sleep study done. Talk to your doctor. I had severe sleep apnea, which what that means is I was stopped breathing 48 times per hour.
Hell yeah, that's metal.
That's not a good way to feel good, and it can lead to many things like liver and kidney disease, depression, memory issues, feeling not good, heart problems, a lot of things that Mitch has. So possibly might make my life a lot easier if I keep using it. I do sleep a lot better. It is weird at first, but you get used to it. I think some people have harder times than others because people don't like things against their face when they're asleep, like eye masks and blindfolds and stuff like that. I don't have that issue, so I'm able to sleep pretty easily with it. And I haven't ripped it off my face in my sleep, so It's pretty good, and it creepily keeps track of a lot of data and sends it to all the medical staff. So some people might have issues with that. Get over it. But apparently, I only stop breathing like once or twice now per night, and it immediately like forces me to not stop breathing when it detects that. Much better, much nicer. I'm still enjoying my job that Ethan got me again. I might start doing Upwork as an article writer because I'm not using my philosophy degree. Might as well do it now. Try and make some money with it. Yeah, that's pretty much my life. It doesn't really change. I work, I come home, I be sad. I record this on occasion. Woo. On occasion. And I'm blasting through Metroid games when I feel like playing.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh yeah, Hades dropped on PS4, so I rebought it. Just because, I mean, I haven't streamed in like 2 months, and I don't really like gaming on my PC right now, just because the chair is uncomfortable. And I would rather sit in my recliner. I do have a Steam Link I could set up, but the Steam Link is very meh. Until I get everything wired up, maybe. I've used it in the past, and it's okay, but it doesn't work super well for everything. So, Mitchell,
yes,
we have to give each other some EPs.
And we have a lot of homework to do on top of that.
And we do have a lot of homework. I really need to start working on that. I've re-listened to some of the stuff. I need to just sit down and make like a proto list. Like just go through each episode and listen to what I gave each one, or just if I remember, set it up. But yeah, so I'll start. I'm running into a little bit of an issue because it's what I basically know what Mitch is going to give me, but previously I told Mitch what I was probably going to give him, which is Irony is a Dead Scene by Dillinger Escape Plan. Now, the reason I'm hesitant on doing that, it's a 4-song EP. I think it only runs about 11 minutes, but it's another album with Mike Patton on it. It was shortly after Dillinger released their original singer. I think Mike Patton actually found Dillinger and just really liked it. Like, I think he saw them live or whatever and really liked them, so he discussed working with them. And by the time they started doing Irony is a Dead Scene, Greg Puciato, I think it's Puciato. Greg had joined the band, and they were already touring. So, but they still released this with Mike Patton. And the first time I heard it, because I was curious, I liked Faith No More, and I listened to a little bit of Fantomas and some of Mike Patton's like weird stuff, but not like Mr. Bungle. He has a couple of other oddities. I was like, oh, he did one with Dillinger. Let me check that out. And I did not get it. I was like, oh yeah, this sounds a lot like Calculating Infinity, and even with Mike Patton, I don't know what's going on in this. After listening to all of Mr. Bungle, I then went and I also listened to one of Dillinger's albums, One of Us is the Killer, which is very good. He might get that at some point. I listened to Irony is a Dead Scene. I was like, okay, I get it. You know, it's interesting. It's catchy in some areas. It's very chaotic though. But because I gave him the hardest Mr. Bungle album to listen to, and because I gave him Faith No More recently, I think Mitch is a little Mike Pattoned out. So I was trying to figure out something else to give him. So I thought of a couple of other things.
Metallica EP.
What's that?
I said, gives me a Metallica EP. I know they don't exist.
No, they have EPs.
Do they?
They released an EP along with Death Magnetic called Beyond Magnetic. It was 4 tracks that didn't make the cut. I've only listened to it once or twice. I don't remember much about it except for...
Nothing I like more than a band going, here's some leftover material. It's the B-side. It's not good enough. Here you go.
I mean, bands have released B-sides for years.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying I don't like B-sides usually.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's the worst thing they've ever released, but it was kind of forgettable. One of the songs was dedicated to Lane Staley of Alice in Chains, I believe. And, you know, it's not bad, but it's not really my thing. Other EPs they've released are usually like singles with a couple of covers, which were all obviously collaborated into Garage Inc. after a while, and I'm certainly not going to ever give you Garage Inc., even though it is a fantastic album.
I've also listened to Garage Inc. in its entirety before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of metalheads have. Metallica is one of those bands that their covers usually knock it out of the park. So
turn the page, my man. Turn the page.
That one's fine. I really like Whiskey in the Jar, though. Whiskey in the Jar. Anyway, I'm actually going to give you a choice because I just can't decide.
Please stop. Please.
No,
I make bad choices.
No, so here's the thing. I will include Irony is the Dead Scene just in case that the other two don't appeal to you either, but these are just kind of what I thought of. I also thought of Murder Construct's first release, so nobody can ever be Travis Ryan out. I think it sits at 11 or 17 minutes. It's 7 tracks, but it's death grind, so they're usually shorter. And that one is just self-titled, I believe. Let me double check on that. Murder Construct. Please submit. Yes, it's their self-titled EP. It was released in 2010, 2 years before Results. I'm going to give you those two as an option, but I was also going to give you Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies. Jar of Flies is a little bit longer, but it is classified as an EP, so I will give it that option.
How much longer is it?
It's 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's 7 songs, I think, and 30 minutes long. I think, how much experience do you have with Alice in Chains?
None, actually.
Really? Like, you've never heard Man in the Box?
I'm sure I've heard some stuff on the radio because they were pretty popular, but I've never actively sought them out or listened to them.
Okay. Yeah, Jar of Flies is their best-selling release. It's their second acoustic EP, so it's not very grungy at all. It's a sequel to Sap, which is also very good. I really like Alice in Chains. I think they're fantastic. They're one of my favorite rock bands. Dirt is a fantastic album. The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here is a fantastic album. So I was going to give you the choice of Dillinger, Murder Construct, which would officially be the first double dip, if you want to count it, since it's an EP. Technically, I said you should have listened to it on the Murder Construct episode because it was only an additional 10 minutes of material, but you didn't, but that's fine. Or Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies. I think I know what you're going to choose, but those are your options. I can probably find something else if I looked real quick, but those are what I kind of settled on.
Yeah, I actually do not know. I really don't. Murder Construct would be interesting. I mean, I am always curious about Dillinger, but Jesus Christ, I don't know how much more chaos I can deal with.
And this is still early on, so it is their later albums, even with their first album with Greg, they added a bit more, I hate saying musicality, but their first album with Greg has the song Unretrified, which is one of my favorite songs by them. It was on a SmackDown vs.
Instead
Raw
of musicality, do you just mean melody?
Sure. Yeah, melody. I think it's because Greg can actually sing. I don't know if the first guy could. But then again, I've never listened to all of Calculating Infinity, so who knows. But this was still early on, so it still has some chaos. There is some melody in there. Also, one of the songs is a cover of... I've heard of the band. God, Aphex Twin. Yeah, Aphex Twin. I've heard of Aphex Twin. I've never listened to them though. I've been sitting for too long.
Yeah,
but yeah,
same.
so
My ass hurts.
yes. So it's you know what? I'm gonna give you a break of the chaos. I like all 3 of these. It took me a while to like Irony is the Dead Scene, and I much prefer Results to Murder Construct in terms of albums because it has a bit more of a cleaner production. So, you know what? I'm going to just give you Jar of Flies.
All right.
Yes. Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies. It is very good. It's a little depressing at times, but it's such a good album. I love Alice in Chains. And it's a little bit different. I don't think either of us have given each other anything that's like a pure acoustic record.
No, I have thought about it several times, but there's a bunch of metal stuff I'd rather you hear first.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, theoretically, if I wanted to, like, when am I ever going to give you Irony as a dead scene? But whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe like the 1 year anniversaries of everything could be an EP and whatever. So yeah, Jar of Flies, Alice in Chains. It's a beautiful album. It's a bit depressing, but it's very, very good.
All right. Fair enough. I had a hard time because I don't listen to EPs. I'm a full album guy. I literally have like maybe 4 EPs out of my like 50 gigs of music. Is that how much? Oh, no, I take it back. It's only 44 gigs. I used to have more, but I went through my playlist and deleted a bunch. I'm going to give you a choice between 2 EPs. You can either do a Haken EP, which is only 3 songs, but it's 30 minutes long. And okay. the last song, which is really good, it's called Crystallize, is most of the EP. It is 2/3 of the EP.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Or the other EP, which I did listen through. I mean, I've listened to Restoration by Haken several times. It's really good. I really like the first song on it. I like the entire thing, but I really enjoy the first song. The other one that you could get is Abigail Williams' Legend.
Is so this their first release?
I believe so.
Because it's 2000. Yeah, it is. Or at least on Spotify it is. Yeah. I love Haken, but in the interest of holding off double dipping for maybe one more episode, let's. So I have experience with Abigail Williams. I've listened to a little bit of them before, and I do like them. So I'll give Legend a shot. It'll be the first thing I've listened to.
Yeah, and it's my first experience with them. When my friend Doug showed me Abigail Williams, I heard Watchtower and Conqueror Worm quite a bit.
Oh, I already have one of the songs favorited off this album.
Oh, yeah. Well, EP.
Yeah, EP. Like Carrion Birds.
Yeah. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I could also give you a Skeleton Witch record, because even though it's a full record, it's only 30 minutes.
No, I'm fine, because I don't remember Like Carrion Birds off the top of my head. I think I'm fine with it. I know that there was another song of theirs that I've had favorited. Into the Ashes. From In the Shadow of a Thousand Suns. So is Legend more black metal-y? Because a lot of people, I hear black metal fused with metalcore in their earlier music.
Yes. So they did not get into the more atmospheric stuff until 2012 with Becoming. Everything prior to that's like the symphonic, metal-y core, deathcore, black metal stuff that they're known for.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this will be more in vein, along with like In the Shadow of a Thousand Suns, which is one of my favorite records by them.
Gotcha. And yes, Legend is their very first release. I popped it up on Metallum.
Gotcha.
Did you know that you said Watchtower was one of their? They released it as a single in 2009. Which is kind of curious. I wonder if it's
maybe they like remastered it or something.
Oh yeah, Watchtower Revisited is what it's called. I was curious because it has a 36%. So
I wonder why.
It's probably just a remaster and people don't like new things.
So Abigail Williams is something that I would love to do if we ever did another double album episode. They're probably the one that I would do. If we ever do that again, it's the reason that I really want to do it, because otherwise I would just have to double dip.
Right.
Or in this case, triple dip. So, but
I knew the name Abigail Williams was familiar. It's from The Crucible.
It's from The Crucible.
Cool.
Yeah. There you go.
So the next episode, first of all, is this episode 22? I think it is. Yeah, 20. This is episode 22. So episode 23 is going to be our year anniversary episode, Mitchell. Woo. And I mean, that's actually not that bad. With the amount of times that we've been late or we took the break in Christmas, technically the 1 year should be 26, I think. So it wasn't, we didn't miss too many episodes. And
no, I mean, that's almost on track to 2 episodes per month, which is the goal anyways.
And I mean, we did put out a bonus episode, plus there's episode 0 as well. So I guess we did hit 25.
Did we do multiple bonus episodes? I thought we at least had one more.
Nope, we've only done one bonus ep. That was 7.5 with the really bad Rolling Stones list. We did discuss doing one of the other lists we found in there. I think it was like Stereo Gum or something. There was another thing that I found of like...
Wasn't the Sun one a bonus episode?
That was the same. That was during the Rolling Stone.
Oh.
Like we did that at the same time.
All right. Well, that shows how much I pay attention.
But yeah, so on the 21st or the 23rd episode of the show, our 1-year anniversary, we are going to be going over an Abigail Williams EP as well as an Alice in Chains EP. And we will also be ranking all of the albums we have been given throughout the past year. I don't think it's quite... It should be even. We always gave each other a double.
No, except, well, so here's the question, though. It won't be even because I gave you a triple album, but it's one. So I was about to ask you, are you going to rate each section individually, or are you just going to rate the entire thing together?
I'm probably just going to rank the entire thing together.
Gotcha.
But that might change in the next couple of weeks. But anyway, yeah, so... I'm looking forward to our 1-year anniversary. I'm looking forward to listening to some Abigail Williams. I'm sure you're appreciating a break from chaos and
a little bit.
And a little bit. So, yeah, guys, that is about it. I don't have any band to share at the end right now. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to the Distorted Entertainment Podcast. My name is Ethan Carpenter. I'm joined by Mitchell Wade. If you like the show, please consider sharing it with your friends and your family to help us continue to grow. If you're in a band and you would like for your music to be shared at the end of the episode, please message us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/distentpod. That's DISTENTPOD. Or you can email us in the email in the description. We also have a Twitter. It's a distentpod as well. And I think that's about all of the shilling I have.
Sounds about right.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys in a couple of weeks with our 1-year anniversary. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. And that's where I'm going to cut it.
Yep.